What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another football video where today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of match day number 29 in the Premier League. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including your predictions ahead of match day number 29 in the Premier League. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore, who are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the grounds. They'll keep you up to date with the latest match information, the latest team news, the latest statistics, and so much more. Not just limited to football, it's got all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app, covered. So do go and check it out. It's a free app to download, very highly rated, and anyone that does download using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So looking back at last week, match day number 28, not my best performance, 1 correct score, 3 correct results with 6 incorrect, grading myself pretty poor, 3 out of 10, and to be honest, we're getting towards the business end of the season. Week in, week out, could really do with getting some 6, 7s and 8s out of 10 performances from me, if I'm being completely honest. So, starting off on last Saturday, the 8th of March, Nottingham Forest took on Manchester City. I had that down as a 2-0 Manchester City win. I thought City would be able to grind and break Nottingham Forest down, and if City scored first, I thought City had gone on to have won that game. I did say that if Nottingham Forest managed to keep things tight and City can't score, then 0-0 would be the safe bet. And I could also see if Nottingham Forest can keep it nice and tight towards the end, even Nottingham Forest sneaking that game. And that's exactly what happened. A big 3 points for Nottingham Forest, whose form was a bit hit and miss heading into that game. For Manchester City, their form very much hit and miss, and now they've got a huge game coming up this weekend at home against Brighton, as that race for Champions League football next season is getting ever more exciting. Now, moving on to the 3 o'clock games, Brighton, Fulham, I had that down as a 2-1 Brighton win, spot on with that one. Crystal Palace against Ipswich, I had that down as a 2-1 Palace win, that finished 1-0, weren't too far away with that one. Liverpool, I had them down as 4-0 winners against Southampton. Southampton took the lead at Anfield, and Liverpool kind of made hard work of Southampton, but they got the job done in the end, and another big 3 points sees them move a step closer to lifting the Premier League trophy. Brentford against Villa, I thought them two sides would have cancelled each other out, went with a 1-1 draw. Villa managed to sneak that game by 1-0 and a big 3 points for Aston Villa. Wolves against Everton, I had Everton to sneak that one, win that game by 2-1 in the end, both sides cancelling each other out, score draw, finished 1-1. On to Sunday's games, I had Chelsea down as 3-0 winners against Leicester. They got the job done in the end with a 1-0 win, and at this point in the season it's just about getting them 3 points, and they managed to do that. Spurs against Bournemouth, I had that down as a 2-1 Bournemouth win. Again, weren't too far away. Bournemouth, I think, were 2-0 up in that game, and Spurs managed to do a good comeback to pick up a point at home against AFC Bournemouth. AFC Bournemouth just keeping them in the hunt when it comes to Champions League football next season and continuing their very good season. I think they'll be a little disappointed that they didn't go on to win that game and get the 3 points, if I'm being honest. And then Manchester United against Arsenal, that down to 2-1 United win, and had United scored that big opportunity right at the end, I'd have been spot on with that. In the end, both sides cancelling each other out, 1-1 draw, and Arsenal taking a dint in their bid to try and win the Premier League trophy. So Liverpool now firm favourites. On to Monday night's game, I had West Ham down as 2-1 winners against Newcastle. Really good win on the road, that, for Newcastle, winning by 1-0, and another big 3 points as they look to try and get Champions League football for next season. But for Newcastle now, their attention very much turns towards trying to win their first trophy since God knows when. So, moving on to match day number 29 on Saturday, 15th of March 2025. No early kickoff, so we're going to dive straight on in with the 3 p.m. games, and we've got Everton taking on West Ham United, and I'm going with Everton to win that game. Former West Ham manager David Moyes, of course, leading Everton. I think they'll be too strong for West Ham, and I'm going for plus 3 points there for Everton as they move a step closer to Premier League survival. And then Ipswich, they're taking on Nottingham Forest. I wasn't too sure what to go down with this one, because I can maybe, and it sounds quite crazy because Forest having a brilliant season and Ipswich obviously sitting in the relegation zone, but I could see Ipswich doing something in this game. I do think Forest are going to win, so I've gone with a 3-1 win, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ipswich take some points off Nottingham Forest. I think they're going to attack Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest could be put onto the back foot. I just think they'll try and make that game about quality, and if they can, I think Forest will win that game. So I'm going 3-1. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ipswich do something though. And then the big game at the Etihad Stadium. No idea why it's not being broadcast, but here we are. Huge match when it comes to Champions League football for next season. City's form been very hit and miss. Brighton coming well into form now. I think they've won the last 5 games, maybe even 6 games in a row in all competitions. Playing really good football, winning games, grinding games. The question is, if they want Champions League football for next season, can they go to Manchester City and win away from home to really put the gauntlet down to show that they're serious about getting into the Champions League next season? And for me, it's City that's under all kinds of pressure. It's City that need to win this game, because to me, this is a big 6-pointer. City lose this game, they could well struggle to make Champions League football for next season, which going off the 4 times consecutive Premier League champions in a row to finding themselves dropping outside of the Champions League spots is unbelievable. The fact that Manchester City also not having a brilliant season and just mixed in with their injuries and things that have happened and the ageing squad and everything. So just everything's hard work. It's difficult for Manchester City, and a high energy, informed, confident Brighton team. It's going to be hard work for City. I'm going for City though to turn up, because at the Etihad Stadium, I'm judging this based on performances against Chelsea at home, against Newcastle at home. Good quality teams coming to the Etihad, and City have managed to up their game. And when City up their game, they do still have something about them. It's just consistency. It wasn't there last weekend against Forest, but it was there away from home against Spurs. It was there at home against Newcastle, against Chelsea. It's there. It's just consistently, can they apply it? And if they can, they'll win this game. And that's what I think will happen. I'm going 3-1 Manchester City. But if they don't, I don't think this will end level. I can see there being a winner. And to be honest, I'm sitting here as a City fan trying to be as unbiased and as honest as possible. I can see Brighton winning that game, if I'm being honest. But if City play like they did last weekend, Brighton will win that game. So fine margins here for Manchester City's season. Moving on to the South Coast, Southampton taking on Wolves. I'm going with Wolves to pick up an away win, going 2-1, and Southampton another nail in the coffin with them looking like they're going to be relegated. That's actually a really big game at the bottom, because it could just see Wolves get a little more breathing space when it comes to relegation from the Premier League. And then the final game on Saturday, you've got AFC Bournemouth taking on Brentford at 5:30pm GMT, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. I think Bournemouth will edge that game. I think they'll be too strong. They'll make home advantage count. Both teams to score, but 2-1 to Bournemouth. Moving on to Sunday's games. Firstly, you've got Arsenal taking on Chelsea. Big game at 1:30pm GMT, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports at the Emirates Stadium. I can see Arsenal dropping more points. I can see Chelsea taking points off Arsenal. I'm not too sure I see Chelsea winning that game, but I'm going 1-1 draw for that match. And then Fulham at the same time at 1:30pm GMT taking on Tottenham Hotspur at Craven Cottage. And it just smells of the kind of place that Tottenham are going to go to with their extremely inconsistent season and pick up 3 points. So I'm going 2-1 Spurs. And then the final Premier League game at 7pm GMT, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. You've got Leicester City taking on Manchester United. I think United will end up being too strong for Leicester, and I'm going for United to win that game by 2-0. Now, we are missing some games from the Premier League match day. Liverpool already played Aston Villa away on the 19th of February, so that fixture's already done and dusted. Liverpool won that game. And Newcastle, they play Crystal Palace at home on the 16th of April. Will complete this Premier League match day, and that's happening because you've got the League Cup final happening on Sunday, I think at 4:30pm GMT, so that's why the Leicester United game's kicking off at 7pm, and I'll just put a little bonus prediction out there. I think Liverpool will be too strong for Newcastle. They'll win that game, and going for a solid 2-0 Liverpool win, and for them to get over their Champions League exit from midweek. But that's the Premier League predictions done and dusted. Next stop, of course, takes us to the international break, which means I won't be doing any Premier League predictions for 2 weeks. Yeah, nice little break. So, if you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below, including your predictions ahead of matchday number 29 in the Premier League. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by sofa score. I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.